Hello, everybody, and welcome to another reading with myself, Gary, from Alternative Interactions, and
Izabela from Tarot by Izabela.
today we're going to be looking at a viewer's question that Isabella had on her comments, and a really good question it was too. The question was, what's really going on behind the scenes? Now, like me, I really don't have a clue. And there's so many theories and so many things around at the moment. It's a bit of a soup in itself, isn't it, Isabella?
Yeah, it's crazy. You hear 20 million different 20 million different versions on what is going on. One version, it's the end of the world. Second version, Trump is evil. Third version, Trump is good. Fifth version, you can go on and go on and go on, and it's so tiring and so many opposite views that are fighting with each other.
Yeah,
And maybe that's why we also thought this was a good idea to make a reading on, to see if there is something else that is going on, that if this is only just smoke screens of something even more bigger, more important.
yeah. But, I mean, there are, as Isabella quite rightly said, so many different things going out there. It's the oil, it's the money, it's to hide certain things. It's two different factions fighting for control. It's five different factions fighting for control. Somebody's controlling somebody's a puppet, somebody isn't a puppet.
Yeah.
I have no idea. So, Isabella, with your amazing crystal ball and cards, could we please look into what's really going on behind the scenes?
Yes. And I cannot promise that I will see anything, because if it's something more bigger and more important, maybe it will even be hidden from me. We never know. But of course, we will try to see if there is some information we can receive today. So, first, everybody, I need to concentrate for a few moments on the crystal ball. And soon we'll see if the crystal ball have any answers to what could be happening behind the scenes. Okay, glasses on, and let's see. Oof. Well, um, whatever I see, I must say. Mm. Um, Symbolically, I saw a big temple. And this temple is not a temple for nice things. It's a demonic temple. It's a temple for human sacrifice, for the most horrible things you can imagine. And what I saw a lot of blood coming down from the walls on this temple. And the blood was rising to very high levels. And it's like this temple that is filled today, today's date, with blood from innocence up to the highest level, is being destroyed. And then I saw, like, obviously, meteorites, space rocks, smashing into the temple and make it into dust or sand. That's the main thing, what is going on. A total destroyment of this satanic structure. And this structure, as I said, it's symbolical. It stands in the middle of the earth, and it has like veins, you know, uh, horrible veins that is reaching to every country, to every city, to every place on this planet. And that is what is going on behind this destruction of this blood-sucking demonic center of worship. That's the first thing. And that's a big thing. It doesn't mean that it is President Trump that is destroying it, or Putin, or Kim Jong-un, or whoever. The main thing that we don't see is this destruction of this. Uh, that was the first, and it was very quite strong vision. It's still not destroyed, but it's beginning to shake. The foundation of this demon temple is beginning to shake. And it's beginning to crack. So, oh my God, it's difficult. We will certainly know when this temple is in total made to dust. So it cannot go unseen for us here on Earth. And what it says, what the crystal says, is whatever is happening in Iran or Israel or Europe or Ukraine, in any place, it's really, it's big, but it's not so very important. They are like, you know, if you see this strong demonic temple and whatever is happening in Ukraine or Iran, it's like somebody's throwing rocks on that temple. Yeah, it can make a hole, but it don't really take it down. So whatever is happening behind the scene, and I will try to find out who is a part of the destruction of this temple, because whatever's going on is like hitting small rocks on the temple. It really will not take it down. It's something more bigger. Okay, this is also quite strong. I didn't expect that. um, it's like the human souls, the pure human souls that are on this planet, every country and so on. It's like a beam of light goes from them up, and they're joining together. That beam of light is joining together and growing bigger and bigger and bigger and stronger until it becomes like a massive laser like beam. And that beam, when it's strong enough, will just blow away this demonic temple into oblivion. And what is going behind the scene is that this beam is getting stronger and stronger. We can call it God consciousness, call it whatever you want. But it's at this point that soon it will clean it out. It's, I know it's hard to say that all the wars that are going on are not so important. Of course, it's important. People die, people suffer. It's horrible. But in a bigger perspective, life, universe, planets, everywhere, these are smaller incidents uh, in what really will be happening. We could concentrate on different conflicts, yes, and deep dive, but really that is not the main focus what the crystal ball want to say. I was just expecting different answers, but well, whatever I see here, I will have to say to you. Mm. I don't know if you remember the scene from Indiana Jones, the first movie, Indiana Jones, when they opened the ark at the end, and that beam of light came out, and then it devoured, it melted the evil ones. And something similar will be going on here, is going on here, or that lid over the ark is being pulled out, and we're gonna see that beam that gonna melt. Even if there were so-called priests in that scene, they too got melted down.
They certainly did.
Yeah,
That's
and yeah,
really,
but, yeah. But this what I saw. Um, Maybe I can. I don't know if you have more questions or something I have to deep dive in after that scene. Ooh, it was very strong. I didn't expect it.
no, I wasn't expecting that either, but I also take it as very positive. However,
Mm,
however dark and shocking what you saw was, there is positivity coming from that. Now, something you said that really struck me, what really will be happening.
mm,
You said the light's going to come out and the light's going to come out and it'll be what really will be happening.
mm,
So, what's really going on behind the scenes at the moment appears to be a spiritual war that's continuing against the demonic sickness that has put a web across this world, this realm, this planet, whatever language you want to use.
mm,
Now, this beam of light from us is growing stronger. Makes a lot of sense. You spoke about a clear out, right? Now, this beam of light is going to do something. And you said this will be showing us what really will be happening. So,
mm.
what really will be happening when this beam of light, you've described it as the like similar to the scene of the Raiders
Yes.
of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
What really will be happening when this beam of light strikes out? What could we? Because for me, this feels really important. So
Mm.
this is obviously way into the future potentially or not. We don't know. What really will be happening when this beam of light strikes for the conscious, for everyone here, for everyone watching? What will this beam of light mean to us?
Okay. I'm gonna take some cards on that question. I don't want to look in that more because it was not nice, especially not that those blood veins. Oh, and what they did to get no. Oof. What does this beam of light gonna mean to us? What do this? Yeah. What does this beam of light gonna mean to us? And some dice. Okay. Well, in the tarot cards, we have Five of Wands, Knight of Wands, and Six of Wands. On the oracle cards, we have a book, like a grimoire, empty nest, moving on, and heart. On the dice, we have trouble, cloud with rain, and some strange figure. Could be like a vulture or something like that. What it will mean to us. Of course, it's going to give us a lot of stress. But those who will feel this most stress, those who will be in trouble, are those vultures and those who have kept knowledge secret from us. The book is going to be opened. We're going to get knowledge, true knowledge. And it will be a period of cleansing because we have rain here also. So it's a period of cleansing out the vultures, the troublemakers who have the troubles, to prepare our new home. Moving on. A home that is filled with love and success and victory. Because we're gonna be victorious over those vultures, over those bloodsuckers, over those demons. We're gonna be victorious. Even it's gonna feel strange and it will be very stressful, but every war is stressful. And this is one of the biggest wars we are in at the moment. A war for life or death.
Fundamentally, I mean, those cards are amazing, and I'd hoped to see something like that, or even the Justice card perhaps come out. And as soon as they came out, I thought, oh wow, this is really good.
Yeah.
Very good for us, everybody. Very positive. So what's really going on behind the scenes could be summed up in a very simple way. This is the dismantling of the 3D control system.
Mm. Yeah. Is that a question?
It's not really a question, but I think to
Yeah.
clarify that would be very, very, very
Yeah,
handy.
if this is a dismantling of the 3D world system, what is going on behind the scenes?
Yeah,
Mm.
because for me, I wasn't expecting such a big answer.
Not me either.
I was expecting a couple of factions fighting each other for kind of control or something like that. But actually, this is far bigger than we're envisaging and we can see. And so the fact that you saw what you saw, I'm sorry you had to see that.
Mm.
But the way the cards came out really does show that we're not dealing with small, insignificant times now. We're getting into the nitty gritty, the pinch point of what's really going down.
Mm.
And we could be, if we can ask the question, we're observing the takedown of the 3D control mechanism before our eyes.
Yeah. Are we observing the 3D takedown mechanism before our eyes. Are we observing the takedown of the 3D? See what no, it was oof. I cannot get that sight out of my head.
Not pleasant. Not
No,
pleasant at all.
are we seeing the takedown? Yeah, I think so. Um, in the tarot cards, we have King of Pentacles, the Emperor, and King of Swords. So these are kings, a union of kings. Uh, it doesn't mean it have to be, like Putin or Xi or no. There is a union of very potent and strong entities. Let's call them that. Here we have meeting. They are having a meeting, or during a meeting, they decide to move forward bravely. Why? Because they have to take down the snakes and the cats and the black, here black cat is something symbolic, but the snakes. So they joined to take down the snakes, and the snakes symbolize this 3D thing. So yeah, it's a way to take down the 3D. Here we have um, different kind of trees, those with needles and those with leaves. And just like the kings here in the center, they represent different, they are still trees, but different kinds. And they work together to open the treasure chest for us human. And below the snakes, we have torture, meaning they are feeling very bad, those snakes. For them, what is going on now, because they know the end is coming, they are in torture. They are lashing out everywhere to take as many as possible with them before they go.
Something that struck me from that straight away was when we're talking about those kings in the cards,
Mm.
I don't think we're talking about necessarily at all current world leaders of
No, no, no,
any
no, no,
kind.
no, no.
We're talking about an off world
Mm-hmm.
kind of energy, or this is Gaia waking up
Yep.
and coming into her power and do it. I'm getting goosebumps on this one. So we're not talking about man's involvement here. We're talking about higher beings coming in,
Mm-hmm.
because ultimately the 3D mechanism grid is not of human making. It's a higher dimensional being as well. And so would I be right, Isabella, in saying that we're witnessing the chess pieces of the war and everything else going down, and our realm, our planet, the world, is currently the chess pieces for these titans that are fighting each other?
Yep. But I can say that blood temple I saw, no man can take it down. That's why even if we have atomic weapons, or it's like small rocks being thrown at it. That's what the crystal ball wanted to show. There is a total different force that is needed to take it down. No world leader in flesh, in human, can do anything about it.
Yeah. What I get is we had an otherworldly, not outer worldly necessarily, but an otherworldly being came in and took over the realm
Mm,
and pushed Gaia down. And now what we've got is otherworldly beings coming in to put things right and to
yeah,
free us, to enable us to move on to something else,
yeah.
which is better and more beneficial, which is what it always should have been.
Mm. And that is the question. Is there, yeah,
The otherworldly beings, I think, is the way we should put it.
are there otherworldly beings that have come in to help us get rid of this? Poof. Otherworld beings that has come in. No, let's do these ones. And one more. And some dice. Something so low. The same cards came up. So strange. Huh. Okay. Hmm. Now, this one is in the center. It's like a demon controlling life, like fetus, newborn, life force. What is coming to this demon? Justice. And here we have wholeness. So those beings that are coming, they are from everywhere. They are whole, they are complete. And the, sorry, the dice in the center is an harp. And we often associate angelic beings with a harp, music, angelic music. And here we have King of Pentacles. And they have promised this, because we have promise. It's promised in many prophecies from a long time ago that they will come in and help us clean out this demonic figure that is consuming life energy. And this is a factory. So they have been working hard day and night, like in a factory, to put all this together. And here they are, they're working hard. 9 of Wands, gathering pieces from everywhere. And when it finally comes, it will be 5 of Wands. It will go quickly, fast, and with no delays. So when that beam of light comes, it will go and it's gone. And this figure is gone. Well, that was my answer.
No, that was absolutely brilliant and very, very clear by the cards on what's going on in the background, what's really going on, and certainly something that I was not expecting.
Not me either. I was thinking, oh, they're going to talk a little bit about this politician or that politician. No, the crystal ball just cut it off completely. No, has nothing to do what is going on.
I personally have no further questions because I think
No, I need to calm down. It's enough for me for this reading.
um, I think it shows very clearly, everyone, that things are changing and they're changing rapidly and they're changing in our favor. It's almost as if time is speeding up at the moment, and that speed up of time is likely to cause stress for the demonic side more so than us. And because we live in this realm, we're going to feel and see all these emotions and we're going to be living it, but we're not going to be, how can I put this in a nice way? Although we're going to be living it by watching presentations like this, hopefully it will make you understand the bigger picture that we're seeing coming in. And when you see certain things happening, it will give you hope in your heart and joy and light that this is really good. And even though there is still going to be suffering going on, ultimately we're headed in the right direction and that cannot be stopped.
Exactly. Bravo. Well said.
So, with that, Isabella, if you've got
Yes.
anything else further or not to say, I think we should say goodbye to everybody.
Yes. And I want to thank you all, you wonderful viewers, for watching. And please don't forget to subscribe to Gary's channel, Alternative Interaction, with thumbs up and likes. And if you are not subscribed here, to Tarot by Izabela. And I want to thank you so much for watching.
Thank you very much, everybody. Love, light, and blessings. We have this and we're in a very good position.
Yes,
Remember
we.
that. Bye bye, everybody.
Bye bye.